Brushes. Do they really matter? This is a question that I hear a lot, and I take it to heart because I was the clueless girl that used to spend my money on expensive makeup and then go home to apply it with dollar store brushes, and I wondered why my makeup never looked as good as everybody else out there. Brushes are the one thing that we often forget. We think about the products, but then when we go to apply it, we don't think that our brushes matter. But really, that's false. Our brushes do half the work, if not more. And if you ask most makeup artists out there, they'll probably tell you that they would rather have good brushes over good makeup. And that's how much brushes matter. But if you're a brush newbie, looking at all these brushes seems a little overwhelming. It also can be an investment. When you invest in your lifetime brushes, they usually come with a bigger price tag than what you're going to find at the dollar store. So how do you know which brushes to choose? Today, I'm going to show you my top 5 brushes. 5 brushes that if you have in your makeup bag, you can do 99.9% of your entire makeup with just those 5 brushes. Yes, it's great to have them all, but not everybody needs an entire makeup brush collection. So today, I want to show you my top 5 brushes that I use in almost every look that I do. We're going to start off with our face brushes. If you have watched any of my makeup tutorials, then you probably have seen this brush used quite often. I have a love affair with this brush. This is probably my most favorite brush. So much so that the one time I asked Ryan to bring me my pressed powder and powder concealer brush to an event that I was at, and he lost this brush, I actually had tears in my eyes. This brush does it all. It can be used for liquids, it can be used for powders, it can be used for blending, it can be used to cover any blemish on your face with this magical side. This is my absolute must-have brush, and I want you to take a look because this brush here is the new one. This brush here is one that's 3 years old. When you invest in your lifetime brushes, these brushes last if you take care of them. Putting these side by side, you really can't tell much of a difference except for maybe that I need to clean this one. This is what a good brush will do. It will keep its shape, it will get softer as you use it, and it will last no matter what. We're going to start with our BB cream. As I said, this brush works for liquids and for powders. So I'm going to show you how magical it is to use it with the BB cream, and then I'm going to show you how I use it also to put on my pressed powder afterwards. If there is ever a time where you have a blemish that just won't go away, take the concealer side of the powder concealer brush, and whether you want to use a concealer or powder, just apply the product on the end of the brush and densely pack it into that area, and you can say, bye-bye blemish. Now my next must-have face brush is the blusher brush. This brush is amazing for applying blush exactly where you want it, but it can also double as your bronzer blush if you prefer to keep this just for your foundations. This is a versatile brush, which I love, and it's also tapered at the end so you can get this perfect angle for putting on your blush. Simply dip your brush into the product and then glide this product up your cheek using the tapered side. Now my other 3 brushes that are must-have in my collections are eye brushes. These are the brushes that I use to complete any eyeshadow look. Whether I'm doing 2 eyeshadow, 3 eyeshadow, 4 or more, these 3 brushes do the trick for me. So I'm going to show you exactly how these brushes work with a simple eyeshadow look. The first brush that I typically reach for is the blending brush. This is an absolute must-have brush if you feel like shadows are a little bit challenging or you never feel like your shadows look quite right. This is the magical brush that diffuses out the colors, makes them soft and romantic, and blurs any mistake that you make. These are the softest bristles ever, and it makes it perfect for applying your transition color, but also blending out the colors that you add together. We're going to start off with this brush, and I'm going to use Arrogant as my transition color in my crease. Simply add the color to your brush, hold it nice and light at the end so that you have a light grip, and wherever you put your brush first is where the most pigment is going to go. So we're going to start in the outer corner with circular motions, and then we're going to windshield wiper this back and forth in the crease until this color is diffused out and nice and soft. The next brush we're going to use is the crease brush. Now this name is kind of deceiving because I actually never use this brush in the crease. I love to use this brush for my outer V color. The top of this brush is very stiff and dense. So anytime you want to make sure your color goes exactly where you want it to go, this is the brush to use. It's also a great brush to get that color in the lower lash line. So I'm going to pick up my darker color. I'm going to use Triumphant today in my outer V, and I'm just going to tap this brush in one time and tap off any extra. I'm going to put this brush along my lash line and then up into the crease, and I'm going to fill in this outer V color to darken up this eye look. Now the crease brush does a really good job for putting the color where we want it, but anytime we mix two colors together, we want them to blend. So we're going to go back to our blending brush, hold it nice and light at the end, and circle these colors together so that they're both soft and they look like they belong together. The last brush that I absolutely love is the Deluxe brush. I call this my magnet brush because no matter what color I put on this brush, it sucks it in, holds onto it so I have zero fallout on my cheek, and gives me the best pigmentation. This is the best brush for applying your lid color. So I'm going to go in with my absolute favorite color, Tender, and I'm going to put the brush flat against this product and go back and forth to pick up as much pigmentation as I can. See how this locks it in? And I'm going to apply this directly on my lid and look at that color. Once again, we want to make sure that these colors look like they belong together. So back we go with our blending brush to soften this all out. I'm going to go ahead and add the finishing touches to this look, and then I'll come back to talk about the brush deal that I have for you. I added the finishing touches, and I want to make sure I go back to my favorite brush to set this all with my setting powder. This will make sure it locks it all in and lasts all day long. 5 brushes. That is all you need to complete your entire face. Brushes matter. I get it. When you spend so much on makeup, sometimes you just feel like you don't have anything left to put into your brushes. But trust me when I say you will spend less money by investing in good brushes that will last you your lifetime versus replacing your dollar store brushes every single year. These brushes will change your makeup game. You will feel like a professional makeup artist every single time you glide these soft bristles across your cheeks. And I want to make sure that you get these 5 brushes today on sale for 25% off. Put the keyword brush bundle in the comments below and I will message you this special promo. Thank you always so much for watching, and I hope that today you learned a little bit more about your makeup brushes.